Welcome back. This today's topic is going to be on watching your mouth and communication. Really, y'all not gonna like this one. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Y'all not gonna like this one. I find that most adults don't like it when you touch on watching your mouth. Um, so let's just get started. So communication, sending the message. So what this is talking about, what I wanted to touch on in this particular bullet point is simply when you're communicating, what is the message you're trying to get across? What is the message you're kind of trying to get across? And can that message be received? Okay. And then receiving the message, right? What is required to receive the message? um, these two things are really important. And this is where we're going to go deeper into the cave of this, the abyss, if you will. So we got receiving the message, and then we ask for understanding, we should give it. So communicate, sending the message, right? So this is when you're trying to talk to somebody, you're trying to convey a message to somebody. And are they listening? And this is to you too. Are you listening? And then we're not going to go into this whole thing. Are you listening versus waiting to respond and things like that? We'll probably get into that later, maybe. But right now, it's about communicating a message and ensuring that the person receives it. So when I say we ask for understanding and we should give it, I mean this. So I hear a lot of people say things like, "That's just the way men talk," right? Men, we speak a certain way. We're very direct, right? But that doesn't mean we have to be rude and be a jerk off about it, right? We don't have to be anal about it. We can be tactful, strategic, and articulate, right? And extremely logical. We don't have to go off the deep end and just blurt things out and say we're just men. That's how we talk. We shouldn't be doing that, first of all. As men, we shouldn't be doing that. And this bullet point, we understand that we want respect, right? So we'll say all the time, like, just respect me, respect me, respect me, right? And we just want women to understand that. And for them, for women, they may understand it. Some of them may, some of them may not. You know, they just want to speak their mind. You make me feel like I'm walking around on eggshells when all you're really doing is asking them to respect you. So if we can understand that this is something that us as men, we continue to say over and over again, you know, we just need respect. Give me respect, right? And we understand that. We can't then use the excuse of we just speak how we want to speak and say it, we're just men. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like, women are very good at the way they speak to one another. They sometimes they call each other the B word. Um, they can be somewhat vulgar to one another when they're cool, right? Anyone else outside of this circle says anything, any of these things to them, it could be a fight. But when they're cool with each other, I've heard them call each other the B word and all kinds of stuff. So, to what if they use that excuse and was like, well, you know, this is how I talk with my girls. So I just don't think we can use that excuse. I don't think it's a valid excuse. Watch what you say, watch how you say it, be articulate, be strategic, be tactful, and be logical, and still be direct. You know, you don't have to beat around the bush and all that stuff, but you also don't have to be a jerk. All right. So when we ask for understanding, we should give it. We're asking them to show us respect and also show them the same. You can't ask for something you're not giving, right? You can't. You can't ask for something you're not giving. So if you want your message to be heard, deliver it properly. And if the person still isn't listening to you, then that probably ain't the person you need to be communicating with. What's the next thing we got here? Yeah, asking what asking for what you aren't giving is crazy. So one of the things that I know you guys aren't going to be happy about is I talk about, for men at least, we're going to start there. Um, Stop swearing. Now I know, like, oh, I'm grown, I should be able. Man, stop swearing, especially when you talking to your lady. don't swear at her, especially if y'all getting into arguments and things like that. Because honestly, these things can turn into smoke grenades. Now, I've heard numerous women say, "Well, you're yelling, I can't hear you," or I don't want to listen to you when you're talking to me like that," or "It's hard to get the message when you saying it like that." So if all these men are saying respect, and we're saying all these things, and we're all saying the same thing, really, one would also have to conclude that when women are saying the same thing, it has to have something to it, right? I mean, so if I'm delivering the message properly and you're still not willing to listen, we got another problem. And you're probably not the person I need to be talking to, meaning I should probably just walk away. Because if I can't communicate with you, and even when I'm delivering the message properly and everything, and articulating my thoughts well and maintaining my composure, and you're still not willing to listen, we don't have much else to talk about at that point. In my humble opinion, there's nowhere to go with this thing. So, but asking for what you're not giving is crazy. If you're sitting here as a man cussing like a sailor, yelling at this person and things like that, and you're not giving the respect that you want, cussing somebody out and using foul language and asking them not to cuss at you and not to give you foul language is crazy work. Okay, it is. It's just crazy. Stop doing that. It doesn't work that way. Just like she can't disrespect you and ask you to do all the things for her, it's the same way, vice versa. Now, I will tell you this, in my experience, cutting out swearing altogether does maintain a level of stability in an argument and in communication. I'm going to vibrate that. It does. It puts a level of stability in the communication, because now I'm not using colorful words and she's not being distracted by the words that I'm using. Instead, she's actually able to listen to me instead of being flabbergasted by some of the words I chose to use. So that's something to pay attention to. What's next? Can we spew poison and goodness from our tongues? No, you can't. And this goes back to the previous point. You can't be contradictory. Your language cannot be contradictory. You can't speak one way to a person and then expect them to speak a certain way to you. You can't speak from a level of just swearing all the time and yelling all the time and then expect someone to be chill with you. And that goes to the ladies too. Some of y'all freaking fly off the handle and go left, and y'all expect a man to remain stoic and stand straight and tall and keep his frame and all this stuff, when if this were a man on the street, he'd probably have his face caved in. So you can't spew goodness. Like, you can't have a mouth that is spewing poison and goodness at the same time. Like, you can't. You need to choose what you want to convey. You really need to look into the type of person you want to be perceived as. You do. This is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, because you literally have to change how you're perceived. Some people I like cussing. I think it's real, and if they hear people swearing, oh, they so real, I like them. Get a vocabulary. Now, I understand, as bad as this is going to sound, I understand that certain words fit certain situations perfectly, but just take it out. And I would say this to everybody, but I'm really on this one, I'm going to put an extra oomph on it for men, because I really do believe that we can lead a conversation. I really do believe we can lead it into darkness or into light. And if your attempt is to lead that conversation into the light, and you see that the person is constantly pulling it, the other person is pulling it into the darkness, leave them alone. Leave them alone. You leave that situation alone. I'm not about to be pulled into the darkness. And if that's what you're about, you don't need to be around me. Y'all need to protect yourselves. And this is everybody. Protect yourselves from darkness, from people pulling you into negativity and constantly wanting negativity. If you can speak positivity to a person and they don't want to hear it, get the heck up out of there. Ain't no, this life is too short. You know what I'm saying? The average person lives to be 75. I'm gonna be 50 in a few weeks. And that means like what? I got 25 good summers and not even 25 really. I got 12 on the high end, and then after that is downhill. So ain't nobody got time to play around with this stuff, man. Protect your vibes, protect your spirit, protect your peace. Come on, man. Short story. Oh. This one, emotional intelligence. Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story. If that friend happens to stumble across this video, don't comment on it. Don't say anything because no one knows who you are. So let the story help somebody. And it might piss them off. But don't be shocked when people assume something about you based on your behavior and your words, right? I don't get invited a lot of places because I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't swear. So people assume that I won't enjoy myself at a party setting or things like that because of that. Now, there's a story. There's two stories. So one of the stories is, y'all know if y'all heard this, but there's a lady in the car. She's like road raging out, and the police, like, she's just like cussing people out. She's not running people off the road. And the police pull her over. And they're like, do you know why we pulled you over? And she said no. And they're like, well, I believe it was like her she had a bumper sticker or a license plate that said child of God or something like that, or Christian. So they told her, we think based on your behavior, this car got to be stolen because there's no way you are driving this car with the behavior you have. So that's one story how somebody can, you're trying to portray one thing, but your behavior and your words are, you want to portray something, right? You want to portray something else, but your words and your behavior are clearly portraying who you truly are, right? The other thing is this shirt incident. So I know somebody who swears, uses vulgar language, and I can't say they swear a lot, but it's way more than I do. I think everybody swears more than I do. But he met a person. They made a t-shirt for him. And the shirt had swear words on it. It didn't actually have swear words on it. It had swear word acronyms on it. And he was like, why would this person think that I would wear this shirt? Why do they think I would wear something like this? And it's because he's a good guy, right? He's a good guy, all around good guy. But based on your words of choice in your daily speech, they didn't think it would bother you. Based on your daily words in your speech, they didn't think it would bother you. Now, I can tell you this much. Anybody that knows me knows that they have no business. I'm going to just say it like that. They ain't got no business giving me a shirt with vulgarities on it. Anybody that knows me knows that. It would never happen. It would never happen. Because 9 times out of 10, in a room full of people, I'm the one person, unless I'm around my spiritual brothers and sisters. But 9 times out of 10, in any given moment in a room, I'm the one guy that's not smoking, drinking, or swearing. People think it's weird that I don't swear, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think it's weird, and they shouldn't, but they do. Final word from our sponsor. So that was the story those are the 2 stories. Check your behaviors, guys. check your behaviors, because in your words of choice, you you are who you broadcast. So if you're out here cussing like a sailor, going off on people, but you telling people I'm a child of God, I'm just saying, like, you are who you broadcast. Like, you can say that all day, but people are watching your daily behaviors in your words of choice. So where are we at? Matthew 15, 16 through 18. There we go. So Jesus said, are you also still without understanding? Do you not yet understand that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and is eliminated? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile a man. I'm just saying, if you don't believe in that, that's on you. But if you do, you need to watch how you talking. Now, outside of Christianity, in my personal opinion, these things will be beneficial to you, period. Listening to these bullet points will be beneficial to you, period. Like, you need to watch how you talk to people and how you deliver your message. Be respectful if you want respect. You know, watch your mouth if you want somebody to watch their mouth around you. And let that be a standard. Like, I'm going to watch my mouth when I talk to you, right? And I expect you to watch your mouth when you talk to me. And if that person cannot watch their mouth when they're talking to you, walk away. Get out. Get out. That's it, man. That's the message. Emotional intelligence and stoicism. Stoicism. We didn't touch on those yet. I've done some reading on emotional intelligence. I suggest you guys do the same. Emotional intelligence, to my comprehension, is simply managing your emotions when you need to talk about serious matters. And stoicism is maintaining your frame at all times and not letting people allow you to blow a gasket. For me, if I were to give you guys any help on that, I would honestly, for me, leaning on God and doing my best to follow Christ and doing my best to do what God wants me to do and developing my own intimate relationship with God. Because that's what it is. It's like I have this relationship with God where I don't want to disappoint him. Do I fall short sometimes? Yes. But when I do, I feel bad. You know, it's not often, but I do. So that helps me. That helps me a lot, because if I didn't have that benchmark, if I didn't have that, have God to check me, if I didn't have the footsteps of Christ to follow, I'd probably be all over the map. And it helps me tremendously. But these bullet points can be useful for anybody, and I highly recommend y'all take heed to them, and do your best, because honestly, for me, these bullet points were not easy, because I can tend to be more it's easy for me to be more emotional. You know what I'm saying? So the stoicism part, it took some work. Some especially men, some men are naturally like this. I've seen some women like this. It's kind of creepy, but I've seen it. That are just stoic, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird to see a woman that's stoic, because usually they're soft and nurturing and things like that. So you see a stoic woman, it's almost masculine, like scary masculine though. You know what I'm saying? So that's the message. Love y'all. Thanks for checking out the video, man. I hope y'all got something from it. And if y'all want me to go live, just put go live in the comments on any of these subject matters. If you review any of the other videos and you want me to go live, if you see any of my reels and you want me to go live, just put go live in the comments, and I'll be sure to pick a day to go live, and we'll talk about the subject that you commented on. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.